Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. I made it, oh my god, 2 videos in a week? I'm assuming this is gonna go out on Saturday. I made this on a Saturday, so we're gonna hope that this goes out on a Saturday. Welcome back. I am your host today. I'm not streaming, but fuck it. I am your host today, Gaming Legion, Gaming Lahan. You can call me Legion, you can call me Jacob, whichever you prefer. I look a little professional, look a little studious today. I got my rings on, I got my nice pants on, I got the college shirt. I just got back from work. It is like 8 a.m. right now, and I really wanted to make this video, so I said, you know what, fuck it. Let's just get home, do this right away. If I wait on this, I'm gonna want to do it less because I got some other things I need to do today anyway. So I said, fuck it, let's just do it as soon as I get home. I'm wearing my nice pants. I am thankful enough I have not heard that switch clap, so I can keep these pants on. They're nice and clean. Fuck! I'll be right back. Still got good old reliable right here, thank god. Okay, so anyways, let's move on. The Nintendo Switch 2 got revealed to everybody about 2 days ago. I made a video on it talking about some of my points. Talked about that controller for way too long, and I am so very sorry. I was in editing and I realized, holy shit, I talked about this thing for 15 minutes. Let's move on. And I did the same thing with the dock. I cut out a lot about what I talked about on the dock, so I'll mention 1 or 2 of those points in this video. But regardless, I wanted to make a video about what I want to try and see with the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo as a whole. Just more of a few topics on that, but I want to see what the future of Nintendo is going to be. Here's some things that have basically been confirmed or super likely, some possible things that I think could happen, and some just hopes and dreams, things I would love to see, but have not been leaked, or, you know, we got no fucking clue. These are just hopes. We're gonna start off with the like the almost confirmed, very likely scenarios right here. First one, starting with the price. It has been leaked by Nate the Hate that this system is going to be around $400, probably that $399.99 MSRP right there starting out, which I think for the Switch 2 and what we are expecting it to be, I think that would be a very reasonable price. I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, the Switch, at least a year or two after, was around $300, that $299 MSRP. So $400 for an upgraded system, I would 100% understand, and I would be happy paying that. It's rumored that it could possibly go up to $500, about the same price as a brand new PlayStation 5 Slim, or, you know, Xbox Series X. I wouldn't be crazy about the idea of it. I wouldn't be happy with it. Would I still buy it? Yes, it's the Switch 2. It's a possibility, but it is more likely going to be around that $400 price point. Looking at some of the specs, again, these are ones that have been basically confirmed, but also a little bit of my own flair in it. So the first one is 1080p 60 FPS handheld. A lot of the specs did get leaked, and we are hopefully going to be able to see 1080p 60 FPS, which was exactly what the original Switch was when in docked mode. It would run that 1080p 60. Or at least it was supposed to. We all, dear God, we know a lot of things did not get like that. Next is going to be 1440p 60 FPS in docked mode, so about 2K. Why do I say this is not going to be 4K? Is because the fucking PS5 can barely do 4K. Does anybody remember when the PS5 was advertised as going to be 8K? Like at the very beginning, and it's even still in my fucking PS5 Slim box. I checked it real quick. I got that just over a year ago. I got that at the beginning of January 2024, and it still says 8K on that box. Absolutely nothing is fucking 8K on the PS5. We all know that. And even most games struggle to get to 4K on that thing. Will the Switch be doing 4K undocked, even with AI upscaling? I think that is a big ask, and I highly doubt that it is going to get near that. And even if it does, it is probably not going to run super well. I doubt that's going to happen, but I can see with AI upscaling, 1440p or 2K, I can see that occurring. Next up, an OLED screen. Again, this has been basically confirmed. It has not been outright said by the company, so we cannot know for sure, but it is basically been confirmed. This will be an OLED screen straight out the gate. Very nice. I would love to see some pretty colors, and Nintendo is all about the pretty colors. So very excited for that. Next up, the dock having Ethernet baked into it. If anybody remembers with the original Switch, Ethernet was not native onto the thing. You actually needed a third-party dongle for Ethernet. Speaking of, I actually have one myself. It's a little TP-Link Ethernet one. You would hook it up via USB into one of the side USB ports on the Switch, and you could hook up Ethernet. The only reason I don't have this hooked up right now is because I'm not using a Switch for like competitive gaming or anything anymore, so I'm like not really a reason for me to use it. At best, it would be for faster download speeds, like for how I'm currently using the Switch, but even then, I don't mind waiting a bit for shit to download. The Switch is very good with downloading stuff kind of fast as long as you have decent internet. But we ended up going into the Switch OLED, which that dock ended up having Ethernet baked in natively, which I think that would be very awesome. It would be nice. You don't have to have an extra dongle or anything like that. You could just hook it up right into the system. And I think since they already had it on the OLED, I don't think it would be very far off to think that there would be an Ethernet cable in there, like there's precedent there. Next is a larger internal storage. The original Switch had only about 20 gigabytes of storage on the console itself. Right now it is rumored at about 64 gigabytes, and I would say for the Switch, that's decent. I mean, the Switch already has basically everything at lower file sizes, so that's not a crazy concept to think, oh yeah, we're gonna need more than 64. I will say, would be nice to have more, but of course we're going to have micro SD Express probably, so right away we can get more gigabytes right there. Next up is the Joy-Cons, being able to use them as a mouse. This is the only reason this is not 100% confirmed is because we have not heard it directly from Nintendo, and we have not seen the Joy-Cons being used as a mouse. But this is all but verbally confirmed, essentially. During the trailer, they showed the inside, and you were actually able to see the optical sensor in there on the left Joy-Con. I'll show it to you right here. You're able to see the optical sensor right there. There was also the whole scene of them getting dragged along like mouses, the wrist wraps essentially looking like little mice tails. Basically all but verbally confirmed that these are going to be used as mice. Next up, and I did my homework, I learned what the fuck it was. The Hall effect joysticks. I had mentioned this in the last video that during the trailer they had like rotated the joystick around on the left controller, and what people are thinking is that these could be Hall effect joysticks. Basically how Hall effect joysticks works is that it will work without having to contact anything, so that's the best I got. I don't know too much besides that. But basically you don't need any contact underneath to actually read the inputs. It lasts longer. Joy-Con drift is basically negligible. It is unheard of with these joysticks. Assuming we get Hall effect, no Joy-Con drift. Holy fuck, yay! And then the next one, and the last one for specs really, is new Joy-Con colors. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. Nintendo did a shitload of Joy-Con colors with the last systems. It's basically inevitable. Right now, of course, we only have the black with the little accents, but I'm assuming we're going to be getting way more of probably the black with accents, maybe white with accents, and I'm assuming we're going to get ones where it's going to be full color, different ones, maybe with customizable accents. I think that would be pretty cool. If Nintendo wanted to make some fucking money, like I know they do, they would throw a Joy-Con creator in there, and it would say, okay, for your left Joy-Con, choose what color you want, choose an accent color. For your right Joy-Con, choose that. I think the only reason I can see them not doing that is because, you know, customizable shit, you're going to have to make sure your factory can do all of that, so I can understand why they wouldn't do that. But I think that's a huge opportunity that they should not miss out on. Next up, looking at software, and this is the only thing I have that is going to be almost confirmed / very likely, and that is a new home screen UI. It just kind of comes with the nature of everything. Obviously, new console, you're getting a new UI. I don't think there's ever been a console where you go to the next system and it is the exact same UI. It is pretty much always a different one. So it's probably going to be different. I don't know how it's going to be different. Maybe there have been some mock-ups that it'll look a little similar to the PS5, where it'll have like the icons when you hover over it. It will kind of show a lot of information about the game, have a big backdrop. So that's a possibility. We don't know, though. We don't know yet. Next up, looking at the games that we can have coming. And this first one is not technically a game, but I wanted to mention it. And that is the cartridge redesign. Obviously, this cartridge is probably going to look different than the original Nintendo Switch cartridges. Kind of like how from the DS to the 3DS, they got a little bit bigger and they had the little notch at the end so that you couldn't throw it into a regular DS. These are probably going to be somewhat similar. Maybe the cartridge will be slightly bigger so it can hold more sizes. Maybe it'll have a little notch on the end so you can't put it in an old Switch. And one little nitpick that I want to put in there is, can we remove the serial code at the bottom of the art? Because the Switch cartridge is already small enough. The art is already small enough on there. Can we just extend it a little bit? Please, por favor. Put the serial code on the back, like etch it into the back of the cartridge if you could. Just because this putting it on there is taking away space from the art. And then, like I said, art's already small enough. Let's blow it up a little. Okay, actual games. First up, Mario Kart. This one, again, basically confirmed except for verbal confirmation. We even saw it in the Switch trailer, so it is essentially coming. The only things we don't know are more specifics in the name. I'm going to stand my ground until we get notice. I am a firm believer in thinking this will be called Mario Kart X, or at the very least Mario Kart 10. I mentioned this in the last video. I do believe that Mario Kart Tour was kind of being like the Mario Kart 9, sort of the same way as Mario Kart DS was like the Mario Kart 5 or 6, and the Mario Kart 7 was on the 3DS. Mario Kart Tour was Mario Kart 9. They're going to skip over 9 and just call it Mario Kart 10. I hope they call it Mario Kart X if they do that. I'm going to stand my ground on that until we actually get some confirmation on it, though. Also, they had a new Donkey Kong model in there from what it looks like that's trying to be more similar to the Mario Kart movie. And maybe it's just because we've had this Donkey Kong model for decades now. I mean, when have we had this one? Literally since 3D Mario games started, we've pretty much had this Donkey Kong. I'm not a huge fan of it. Maybe it's just because maybe it's just from how it looks in the trailer. I mean, the colors on his fur are a little more muddled. Not a huge fan of it. Maybe it'll grow on me, but right now, Next up, Pokemon Legends ZA. We already know this is coming. We already know that this is a very likely 2025 release. Obviously, we haven't heard any more information. Pokemon Day cannot come sooner. This might be a console release game. Like console releases, this is coming out with it, or at least very close to it. Right now, since we're having the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct April 2nd, we are all kind of assuming that either late May, early June is when the entire system is probably going to drop. And for Legends ZA, that is definitely a realistic idea. I mean, it got released, back in April of last year, I think. It was that last Nintendo Pokemon Direct. I actually streamed about it, and I think it's actually up on this channel when I talked about Legends ZA when the trailer first came out. I yapped about it for an hour. You know, Rap God here. Rap God, Yap God. I'm white, I'm Eminem, and I got a beanie in the closet. I'll go throw it on. All right, it's not black, but neither is my dick. So yeah, Legends ZA, definitely one of the games that I could see being a console release. All right, next up, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. We did see this back, I believe, in August. It was either late July, August, when that Nintendo Direct went on. We saw a trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This, I don't think, will be a console release or an initial release. This will probably be something either on the tail end of 2025, 2026. I'm saying that because I don't remember if they mentioned about a release date, so I'm just going to assume that. That's definitely something I can see being a new Switch 2 game. Next up, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There have been many reports about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth getting ported over to the Switch, Xbox, and also onto the new Switch. That's going to be, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, I don't know if there have been reports about if the Intergrade level is going to be coming out. For anybody that doesn't know, let me show you. Yes, I bought 2 of them because I wanted the level. Don't at me. They had released two versions. The first one was the PS4 version, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then the other version is the PS5 version, which if you want to try and find an American version of this, good fucking luck. They're like $100 on eBay out of the case. Fuck that. Very popular in Europe, so you can find them pretty easily over there. The PS5 version came with a exclusive like post story sort of thing DLC called the Intergrade level, and new character got introduced, some new missions, yada yada, but a lot of extra stuff. And it did technically affect the your main gameplay a little bit because this character would get introduced throughout it. I haven't played it yet. That's just what I remember reading. Final Fantasy VII, people, I'm working my way through. I'm still on fucking FF4, so calm down. All right, next up, talking more about ports, is Halo the Master Chief Collection. Again, this has been something that we've been hearing a lot of reports on, Microsoft going and porting a lot of their older and other games and exclusives to PlayStation and the Switch. Now, personally, I'm going to be getting that on the PS5 or PS4, whichever it comes out for. That's where I'm getting it. I will not be getting it on the Switch. But good chance that when the Switch releases, that might be something that will come with it. If not an initial release, I can see happening in 2025, just due to all the reports and leaks we're getting. All right, that's basically everything that has been almost confirmed or very likely. Now we're gonna move on to some of the more possible stuff that we've heard a little bit about. This is something that, like, I say, I could be like, yeah, that makes sense. I could see it. We just don't really know yet. The first one, haptic triggers versus analog triggers. If anybody remembers, I talked about this in the last video. The current Switch Joy-Cons use analog triggers, so you click it and unclick it. There's only two states it can be in, versus something like the PS5, the DualSense, where you can kind of have a range with it when you click into it, and you have some, you can have some pushback. So haptic triggers, we could see that, or at least I gotta do my research. I don't know what it's called. Hold on. I have made a continuous and severe lapse in my judgment. After further research, I'm a dumbass. So yeah, okay. The Switch Joy-Cons are not analog, they're actually digital triggers. My apologies, I got that wrong. That's my bad. The DualShock 4 with the PS4 are actually the analog triggers where you have some range to it. That's my bad. Apologies. I'll take this off. I'm no longer Eminem. I no longer deserve the title. So we actually are using digital triggers. So what we can hope for is analog triggers, or what would be nice is the adaptive or haptic feedback triggers. Those would also be really nice. Again, a possibility. I could see it happening. We just don't know yet. All right, next up, and this one actually probably should have been in hopes and dreams, but I'm gonna throw it in here just because there's precedent. A link cable. Obviously, if anybody was born in ye old days of the Black Plague, you might remember that the original Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advanced all had link cables that could connect to each other, and this was used for games mostly like Pokemon and a few others, so that you could, connect to the other device, trade over Pokemon, do battles, yada yada. And I think that is something that they could possibly do with the Switch, and not for the purposes of Pokemon trading. We have fucking online shit for that. We can do that. But I could see it being used in some games where you might need a local connection and you might have to do it through that. Or you could use it for different puzzle games. Like, I don't know. You maybe have to like run an electric current through it. I think that would be kind of funny. Yeah, that probably should have been in hopes and dreams, but you know what, fuck it, we're putting it here. Next up is expand the use of the NFC Reader, and what I mean by this is in two ways. One, give us some more fucking amiibos. I feel like we haven't gotten as many, and there are a lot of series that you could just put some more out, and especially with all the new games that are coming out, that immediately gives you a bunch more amiibos. Give us more Pokemon amiibos, please. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. Give us more fucking Pokemon amiibos. Like, you have over 1,100 Pokemon, I think over 1,200 now. You got some to pick from other than fucking Charizard, Greninja, Mewtwo, and Pikachu. Please give us some more. I like Greninja, but still. And the other way I think about this is expand it with other toys to life. Like, if any of you have seen in some of my maybe TikToks, I have just a wall of Skylanders right over here. There's Skylanders Imaginators on the Switch, and I think it would just be very easy, tap those on and be able to play, like load them in temporarily and use them sort of like that. Just expand it a little bit. I mean, you already have it there, and I already know because of amiibos, you're gonna have to keep it. Just expand it a little bit more. Moving on to the software. A clock / screensaver while docked. In the Switch 2 trailer, we saw that when the Switch is docked, there's going to be a nice little cutout above the edge of the dock where you can actually see the screen. And I think with there, while it's docked, assuming the system's on, of course, we should be able to see like a clock or some little screensaver just to liven it up a little bit. I mentioned this in my other video talking about the Switch 2. Go check it out. I should mention that now. Go check out that last video, please. 5 views in 2 days. Let's fucking go. New subscriber. Let's fucking go. What you can do with that is you can have a little Mario maybe running across, or you can have like a Zelda walking through a field, maybe a Samus rolling along, or you can have like a Pokemon trainer throwing a Pokeball, yada yada. Those are just some dumb little ideas. The Mario one is, and I feel like that should be a given. But if you want to do screensavers, have some there, throw a clock in there. Just a little bit of something, because when it's in the dock, the Switch basically just becomes a regular home console. And I feel like with the way that you're able to switch it from handheld to docked, I feel like you can do a little bit more there. Throw that Nintendo flair in there. Next up, and this is basically a likely, but I want to mention it because we don't know, improve the fucking eShop and NSO. Dude, every time I've had to go into the eShop to look at shit, or into NSO, it chugs like a motherfucker, dude. Legit. Laggy inputs. It takes forever to get to the next page to load the games. Let's fucking go. Can we just improve that? And then talking more about the eShop, can we get a better algorithm with how you see the games and everything? Every single time I've gone onto the eShop to even think about getting something digitally and being like, hey, what's on sale? I go on, I try and check the new games, and it is all the shit that I already have. It's all the stuff that I've been seeing for months. I'm pretty sure I can go on there and still see fucking Luigi's Mansion 3 on the front page of new releases. Like, dude, that was almost a year ago now. Let's move it along. Let's move it along. Just give us a better algorithm, and at the very least, give us tabs that aren't just going to show the new releases that we can see in the other tab. Give us one, maybe like an indie section that can show us all the indie games and all the ones of those that are kind of popping off right now. Just show us some random genres, maybe. Literally give us a random button where it'll pull a random thing, family friendly maybe. Let's not get all those fucking hentai shits. I'll talk about that. Give us a random button and just kind of randomly select a game. That would be pretty cool. I think especially a lot of indie lovers would love that. And speaking of the devil's animation, can we get rid of a lot of the hentai games on there? I will admit I'm an avid lover of the animated biddies. But goddamn, can we get that shit off of the screen there, children? I'm very much kidding. Let's get that straight real quick. I'm kidding. But can we actually get a lot of these games off? I mean, I'm pretty sure Beat 'em Ups and a few other people did videos on how you can make a whole new account, even specify that you're under, say, 13, and you can still see that on like one of the front pages. That's disgusting. That's stupid. I don't know why that's there. So can we either one get it off, or two implement fucking god. Can we implement some sort of restrictions, or if you're under 18, under 16, whatever, however they want to deal with that. But let's get some restrictions on that, please. All right, next, bring GameCube to the NSO. The reason this is under possible is because there were tests that got leaked. Essentially, yeah, bringing GameCube to the NSO. There were some leaks that people have been testing it. Just another console to bring to NSO, a more recent console. It's not something N64 and back. You got GameCube, which has a lot more beloved games, Mario Sunshine, all the Metroid Primes, the original ones, some WarioWare. We got some of the Pokemon, Coliseum and XD. What else do we got? some Fire Emblem games, some of those. There's a lot more. I'm blanking on it. I apologize. A lot of games that a lot of people really like, and I think bringing GameCube would immediately boost it up, especially right now when in the retro market, GameCube is very big right now. A lot of people are looking for old GameCube games, so I feel like bringing it to NSO to at the very least introduce people to them would be a massive market right there. Next up, stop with the fucking friend codes. Get that shit out of here. I think we can all agree friend codes need to go. Stop it with this 12 character long friend code that I have to give to somebody just to friend them on the Switch. Make it an account thing. We already have the Nintendo account. Just fix it up, make it so we can friend somebody with a username like every other console has been doing for the last fucking 10 years. Please. Sorry, 20 years, because the 360 has been doing that since like, what, 2004, 2005? Holy shit. Next up, and this will come up a little bit later, but posting screenshots and screen recordings to social media. We all saw that there was a little C button that was on the right Joy-Con that we still don't know what that's actually going to be for, but a lot of people have been theorizing that it might be some sort of social button where you can click it and you can bring up like a social media sort of thing, post to social media. So I think it would be nice if, assuming that's what that button is for, being able to post screenshots and screen recordings directly from your Switch instead of having to try and post it to other places. I actually don't know if the original Switch can do that. I think you actually might be able to do that to Facebook and Twitter, but at the very least, can we expand that maybe to other things, please? And the last thing here for software is more goddamn themes. I swear to God, the original Switch, I think we've all known this, has had 2 themes for the last 8 fucking years, and it has been light theme and dark theme. And first of all, if you have your shit set to light theme, what the fuck is wrong with you? How do you play at night? I do not want to burn my eyes out when I'm trying to play. Dark mode forever. Dark mode forever. But can we get some more themes? At the bare minimum, just give us some new colors. Give us just colors to put on there. And even with some of the other stuff that the Nintendo has, they have those gold and silver points. The silver points specifically can be used to purchase something like new icons, card like borders and stuff. I think silver coins are probably the biggest thing you can use. Buy themes with those. For anybody that doesn't know how to get silver coins, there are little challenges you can do on your Switch that will actually get you points. Logging onto the Switch and logging in is like easiest way you can do it. If you have NSO, you can like play some games on NSO, do some challenges in them, and those will give you silver points. So it's not even like this is something that they can't implement. It's very easy. Just implement the themes and then use the silver points where you can buy new themes. And that's where you can do it by game. You can do like buy some Pokemon themes, Zelda, Mario, you know, the obvious shit. All right, next up, looking at some possible games, I think we can possibly get a new pack-in game or something similar to 1-2 Switch where it's not exactly a pack-in, but it works as like, here's what the console is about. Now, when I say that, I hope it is not like 1-2 Switch. That was dog shit after like the first day. Maybe we can get something similar to Astro's Playroom, kind of where it shows off some of the new features with the controller, with the system, what can you do with it, and just, you know, being able to use that game as like a crash course in what can the Nintendo Switch 2 actually do. And again, that might not come as a pack-in, that might be sort of a separate release that's just kind of like, this would be a pack-in, but it's a separate release. But we'll see. Next up, Gen 10 Pokemon. Obviously, Generation 10 is just going to be coming. No announcements, of course. We don't know when, but we obviously know it's going to come. It's inevitable. It's like the heat death of the universe. Everything is inevitable. Everybody's gonna die. You will not survive Ragnarok. Thank you. Another given that's going to happen, a new 3D Mario. Mario Odyssey was the last one. Again, 8 years ago. So hopefully we can see something with this. We know it's going to be coming. We just don't know anything about it. So that's why it's impossible right now. And then another thing that I want to put is more Microsoft, Sony, and Steam ports. Obviously, we're probably getting the Halo Master Chief Collection getting ported over. We're obviously getting Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, but I would like to see some more. Sony, not as much. That's probably not going to happen anytime soon, but Microsoft and Steam can very much port some of their stuff over, especially with the Joy-Cons possibly being able to be used as mouse. Automatically, Steam games get popped up right there. All right, and to kind of end this video out, we got some hopes and dreams, just some things that I would love to see. These are probably not going to happen, but it would be nice. First one is keeping the IR camera, but actually like using it. Looking at the Joy-Cons in the trailers, it doesn't look like the IR sensor is actually there on the right Joy-Con anymore. A speculation is that there might be an IR sensor with the optical sensor on each controller. So it's like half an optical sensor, half an IR sensor. That has been a theory that has been going around, but unconfirmed, of course. Keep the IR camera, but actually use it for some stuff. Because, I mean, obviously, you take away the IR camera, then games like 1-2 Switch, immediately you can't play them to the fullest because that IR camera is used for a few of the games. You can't play some other, I don't know, again, Beat 'em Ups did another video on all the games you can use it for, so go watch his video. But keep it and use it a little bit. A second one that I've been mentioning a lot as well. A second screen for DS, 3DS, Wii U games, basically. We obviously have the new USB-C port on the top, and I think that that can open up the possibility to either connecting it to a second Switch via link cable maybe, or being able to put a little accessory on top so that while in handheld mode, you can play DS, 3DS, and Wii U games right there natively. Again, another pipe dream. It's something that might happen. It could happen, but very unlikely. I think if they're going to do those in any sort of way, they are going to have the thing streamed to the dock, which leads into the next one. The possibility of connecting to the dock and actually streaming from your handheld to the dock, and the dock will connect to the TV. This is actually something that has been theorized as well throughout the community. It actually came up a little bit ago, like a week or two ago, that this might be a possibility. I don't think it's gonna happen, but again, something super cool where you have your dock right there, it connects to the TV, and say you're sitting on the couch in handheld mode, you can connect to your TV, connect to the dock, connect to the TV, and you can use the TV as sort of the top screen for a DS, 3DS, Wii U, while you use the actual handheld Switch as the bottom screen or the touchpad for the Wii U. Again, I think that would be a super cool idea. I don't think it's going to happen, but you know what? Ball is in their court. All right, next. And the only reason I see this in the hopes and dreams is because they haven't done it ever. Give us a trophy or achievement system, please. I'm going to keep harping on this until we get it. Please, a trophy achievement system, it just gives another incentive to play some of these games other than it's a Nintendo game. Give me a reason to play it. Give me that, like, I got that itch. Let me scratch it, please. Please add one. And the next one is going to be screen recording. I mentioned it earlier about being able to post your screen recordings, but we don't actually have a way to natively record your screen on the Switch. You would have to connect it up through an Elgato or some other, video pass-through to actually be able to record. Now I can understand this maybe not working in docked in handheld because it's handheld. There's already a lot of other shit going on. So this might be something where you will have to be in docked mode to actually be able to utilize it if it was implemented. But, just some screen recording would be nice, even if it's only like a minute to 3 minutes maybe. Like, it doesn't have to be super long. But just being able to screen record or record the last 1 minute, sort of like the PlayStation can do. Just because I know there's a lot of people who have like, oh, crazy things happen in a game and they want to post it, but they're not recording because they can't fucking record it. And lastly, here's some games. All Pokemon, I'm going to tell you right now because I love Pokemon. First off, Pokemon Gen 5 Remakes. Generation 5 is my absolute favorite generation, and the only game that I really care about is Pokemon White 2. No offense to Black and White or Black 2. I haven't played them, unfortunately. I know Black 2 is basically the same thing, but I'm still putting it in there. Can we get some remakes? I don't care if it's the original Black and Whites or if it's Black and White 2 or if it's a combination of both in some way. But can we get some Gen 5 remakes? It's about time. Let's roll it along. Next up is Pokemon Let's Go Marill and Mareep. I don't really care about this one, but it's a fun theory I found online, so I wanted to throw it in here. We all know about Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Those came out, remakes of the Generation 1 games. And it's been going around, hey, when are we getting Pokemon Marill and Mareep? When are we getting those games? Or Jigglypuff, or not Jigglypuff, whatever, you know what I mean. But again, another fun one, I think, is just like, maybe do we get another Let's Go style game? I would prefer a different catching mechanic, but can we get another like similar art style just in the Johto region? That would be fun, I think. And the final thing I have here, and probably one of my biggest ones, bring the retro Pokemon games to NSO. Dear fucking Lord. For anybody that has NSO, you already know you get Game Boy, Game Boy Advanced, and Game Boy Color games all right into the NSO package. Actually, I think Game Boy Advanced, you need the upgraded package for it, but you know what? It's still there. So can we please get the retro Pokemon games? Please? Dude, I do not need to fucking go online. Go onto eBay, go to a retro game store and pay $60 fucking for a game that came out 30 years ago. It came out 30 years ago. It's not that special. I promise you. I love Pokemon. It is not that special. I can emulate these games all day, every day. Give me them natively to this fucking thing, please. And if we do get them, please make them work with Pokemon Home. That would be nice. Just transfer all your Mons right out. At the very least, give us Red through, what is it, Emerald? And then if you somehow end up adding in DS, give us Gen 4 and 5, please. Please, please, please. Just give us retro Pokemon. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you liked hearing me rant a little bit about what I would like with the console and what we can possibly expect. Please go check out my other video looking at the Switch 2 trailer. I want to get that going a little bit more, and hopefully this one can blow up a little bit. Totally. I hope to make more videos sort of similar to this. I have a few more ideas that I want to do that I might start making. This one, hopefully I can get out by today, and then I can maybe make another one tomorrow. Who knows? I'll figure it out as I fucking go. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good day. Peace out. Love you guys. Check me out on Twitch. Fucking bye.